Okay, right, we're out again, and we've got quite a lot of an amazing plant here. We call it the Star of Spring. We think it's probably the tastiest plant that comes up in spring, and there's certainly no shortage of it around here. But just before I start on that, there's a few other nice plants. We've got the wood anemones in flower, which is lovely to see, because when we see the wood anemones in flower, we think that's spring. Spring started. These plants are our guideline. When the wood anemones come up and you've got a nice white carpet of these flowers, that's when spring has started. There's a few other things around. We've got some chervil and some hogweed just to your left there. So a bit of a delightful little feast. Some to watch out for. The anemones, by the way, are toxic. You don't want to eat those. And you don't want to eat this. This is annual mercury. So in amongst what is an enormous field of this, wild garlic, or Ramsons, or bear garlic, there's a few other plants. So you've got to be careful when you're picking this. But taste-wise, I'm going to get Chris here to see what he thinks of wild garlic. Put him on the spot now. You do like garlic, don't you, Chris?
I do.
You do. Good.
Oh, sweet.
Then you should get a bit of the hot, the peppery, and a lot of the garlic flavour. You certainly can. Now, to go with the garlic flavour, this has got a really, really strong garlic smell. So that's a really important thing to check every leaf that you pick to make sure it smells of garlic, because you could have a few other things growing in amongst here. You could have lily of the valley, or you could have lords and ladies, and when young they can look pretty similar. So don't just go picking willy-nilly, hacking back handfuls of leaves and putting them in your bag. Not only is that going to make the place look ugly, you could end up doing yourself a little bit of an injury, or making yourself ill. But when you find wild garlic, there's the leaves at this time of year. There's also what we consider to be sort of level 2, which is the flower buds. There's a couple of those. One for me, one for Chris. I'll take the big one. There you go. This is like garlic level 2. The leaves are level 1. Just pop the whole flower bud in and have a munch of that. And what you've got is the same thing, but times about 5. So these flower buds are lovely for flavouring, a garlic bomb in anything you cook. After the flower buds open, all the flowers are edible too. And then when the flowers drop off, there's a little green sort of triple seed pod, which ends up on each flower head. There must be about 100 on each flower head. And when they're young, when they first come out, they're great. They're like little garlic bombs as well, and you get about 100 per flower head. After a little while, the seeds inside get very hard. They go black and get hard, and the only way you can then sort of use those is with a pestle and mortar, if you really, really grind them down. But from early spring through to early summer, you should be finding this, and you should be using it in as much of your cooking as you can. It's really healthy. It's good for high blood pressure, it's good for your circulation, and it's really, really tasty. So for the last few weeks we've been having garlic cheese on toast, garlic chicken Kievs, garlic pesto, garlic pancakes, you name it. I love garlic, so yeah, it goes in almost everything. Best thing about it as well, don't pick it when you find it in little patches, because those little patches, if you take it all away, there's a good chance it might not come back next year. But quite often you find it in abundance. And from here, just down over here, you can see there is pretty much nothing but garlic going on and on and on up into the distance and round the corner, and then on probably for about another 1/4 of a mile. Now this is, like I said, our Star of Spring, wild garlic, Ramsons. Go out and find it. It likes moist, shady places, and it particularly likes it along the edge of streams and riverbanks. So yeah, get out there.